we're live. Yeah, I think we're live. I hope that everybody is able to hear me. The thing is, why I'm speaking so weirdly and so mellowed down is because number one, I'm tired. I'm so tired, guys. And number two, we've got the dog sleeping behind this little bookshelf here. And she's probably going to be wondering what the hell is going on? Why is he sitting there babbling? Now, I have been sitting here calculating time for this hack fest thing, whatever it's called, and I've written stuff down and I thought I'd run it by you. But it's coming more and more apparent to me that there's no way we're going to be able to pull this off um, for I don't even know if we're going to be able to do it this year. And I'm not the only one thinking that. I've been contacted by at least three people now offering their services, and all of them telling me that you really should look for another date further ahead in the future. And I'm really agreeing with them. I can't fault them at their reasoning because they're smart. And I mean, I've also been doing events, so have these people, probably more events than me. And let me run some stuff by you, what I'm actually planning and what I'm written down, what I want to do for a thing like this. And I think you're going to think that it's kind of interesting. And one of the things that I've been thinking about mostly has been the discussion panels with the Zoom stuff. And so, hello and welcome to Jakob Live. I'm continuing, or we're continuing this discussion of whatever this Hackfest, whatever it's gonna be. The name is we won't decide the name until we know when it will happen, kind of. So under discussion and panel Zoom, there are a few topics where I would like at least like 3 or 4 people to be on the panel to get a discussion going. And what I've been doing also is noting down stuff that people have been asking over the years. And so this is a bit up in the air still. I haven't landed on this because, so one of the topics is, for instance, when hardware is better than iOS. I think that's super interesting actually, because there's always this battle between hack stocks. So Jamie's already our favorite hippie here is already have already decided it's going to be called Hackstock. Online, there's always this discussion between hardware and iPads and software and iOS, and I think it would be interesting to have a panel with 4 people, two of them being very heavily hardware based, the other two being heavily software based. One of them could be a desktop laptop musician, one of them could be iOS, but all of them have to have some kind of relation to iOS too. Uh, That's what I'm thinking. What do you think about a topic like that? Hey everyone, out sick today. That's why I'm not streaming. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Vortex. I hope you feel better soon. It's no fun being sick. What do you have? I hope it's not something really bad, if you know what I mean. Um, so that's at least, oh no, the naming maelstrom. So, and thank you for making my mom feel welcome. I'm wondering, maybe my dad is already here also. They're always here. Tony thinks that it sounds like a good idea. I think it's a very relevant chat. I caught a head cold from the wife. Ugh, that sounds bad. I hope you guys will be better. Now, um, that panel would literally be able to go on. I know how panels work. When people have something they talk about, like that they burn for, a panel can go on for hours. And I'm thinking a panel, I don't want it to be longer than an hour. 45 minutes is probably too short. 1.5 hours could be long enough. 2 hours, I think, would be long. And if you have several panels, one after another, you can't put them starting you can't put the starting time exactly at the ending time. That never works. You need at least between 10 to 20 to even 30 minutes in between these different panels. And basically, what it turns into is kind of like a podcast with a chat, right? That's literally what it is because I want a discussion going on inside the chat room. And for something like this, I think we need five people at least. Someone checking over the chat, throwing out questions or comments from the chat to us or to the people, in the chat. And if I'm not involved in the chat, or if I'm not involved uh, in the panel, I can always do that part. We don't have to get anyone else for it. But that would be a position for someone to help us out with, that we would have to do. And so suddenly we have four, five, six people we need to get involved for every panel. If we do something like that, that could take some time. Unless the iOS only folk don't have any hardware. Well, Original Synth, even if you don't have any hardware, it could be interesting hearing the other side of the whole thing, right? Because it would be interesting to put someone on the panel that only uses iOS and nothing else, not even MIDI controllers, and hearing that aspect of it. It always creates a very nice, interesting type of discord. That's what I want. I want discord between people and having ideas thrown back and forth. So, naturally, if you're having a discussion panel on hardware is better than iOS, when hardware is better than iOS, question mark, exclamation mark, whatever, then doing another panel afterwards where you do it the other way around, when iOS is better than hardware. It could be the same people talking about it. As long as everyone has a relation to iOS, I mean, I think everybody would be able to see the benefits of the iOS platform and also the lack. The lack? No, not the lack. Also, the other side, the downsides of the iOS platform. I can see them clearly because I work with it all the time, right? Read my previous post. Oh, original synth. I probably missed something. Yeah, I did. Good idea. Maybe you could challenge each side to do a track using the other preferred workflow. Yeah, and that's something I'm thinking about. If we have people coming on doing panels, it might be hard getting the same people to do a workshop because suddenly there's a lot of work involved into it. You might want to get prepared for a panel. You, you don't have to come too prepared if you already know exactly how you feel about something. But if you want to be clear about your points, some people need that. And then if you also want to do a workshop, because I do have several workshop things here that I also want to throw out to you and see what you have to say about it. Um, Karma Toast. I started producing on iOS and have many songs on iOS, but began using laptop or PC or MacBook much more. Sometimes I think I mentioned last chat, I actually sample my iPad into my desktop DAW, and I find that interesting. So apparently there were some limitations or something in the workflow that kind of held you back and you moved on to something else. That is an interesting thing. Why did you do that? Things like that, that's what I want coming into a panel like this. I think it would be perfect for us to discuss stuff like that. So those are two topics. Another thing that we've been doing on this live stream, actually, on this channel, is I've been asking you the question, what do you think is missing on iOS? And when I post that question, I realized that having an open panel discussion about that would be very interesting because normally you get my take during a live stream, and then of course we have the chat, but actually having people talking about it as in a podcast would be much more interesting, I think. And I would like to bring in maybe someone, if someone dared, someone from the audience, together with another YouTuber doing iOS music making. It could be anyone of you. I mean, that would be interesting to do. Let's see here. I don't want to miss stuff. Hello, Rustic, by the way. I see you in the chat there. I like to see people demonstrate something that they do musically, their own little workflow or something they've mastered. Everyone is knowledgeable about something. Demonstrate it and then explain it. Yeah, exactly. Kind of like a workshop, tutorial kind of thing. And that's what I'm thinking of. One thing that has been up lately on the iOS Music forum, I think also Audiobus and also in beatmaking forums, I do check some forums even though I don't write there because I simply don't have the time. I just look for information and what people are thinking. And I've been looking into the koala sampler community lately, basically, and it's a really interesting community. And there are so many interesting channels, smaller channels here on YouTube, that I will be lifting in my videos on my main channel now and again, because I just simply think they're making good content and interesting beats, and they're using koala sampler to the fullest. That is interesting. Someone who specializes in something. So yeah, that's a good point. And one thing that I wrote up for a lecture, live workshop, or something is the best way of looping on iOS. Now, think about this. Think about this. Let's say we get three people for this topic. So it's basically best way of looping on iOS, and then, according to, and then this person. We do three of these over 3 days, getting three different takes. That is something I think would be very interesting. Maybe you have some ideas of who those people could be. I have some people, like it's a dream. I have some people I would want to hear their thoughts from, like maybe Beardy Man, people like that. It would be interesting. Uh, I need to get more than 3G. Yeah, I've got 5G ready stuff here, but everything I use only goes up to 4. Let's see here. Zoom does have an option to override the audio processing now, I believe. That's interesting. I love Koala, but didn't realize Koala had a community emerging. Yeah, they do. And Karma Toast, you should really look into that. And I will be talking about it on my channel. With Flying Lotus and Diabase using Koala a lot, it's gonna continue getting bigger. Yeah, I think Koala is one of those things that's gonna continue growing because of the immediacy of the app itself, how how quickly you get things going, how easy it is to learn. And many of the getting started with koala sampler videos I've found on YouTube, I've found some in other languages, in Japanese, I've found some in German, and these are languages I can still somewhat understand a little bit. Because we're all using the same terms, right? Sampling, loop, play, stop, record, so you kind of get what the tutorial is, and you can see how easy it is to get into because people are really good at showing and not only telling. So yeah, they're doing a really good job, making me feel like if I did a video like that, it would be superfluous. Um, you know, with the Koala update, it's become a real powerhouse. Um, Not a same session though, maybe in a half-hour gap in between, all just ideas. I suggested that folks swap their workflow, iOS only do a hardware project and hardware only put them away. Yeah, that is also an interesting thing, getting out of your comfort zone. Getting out of your comfort zone. I'm gonna write that. That could be a discussion or it could be a lecture. Getting out of your comfort zone. All right, I'm putting green blobs on the ones you like, so that we know exactly what that is. I'll try to post this somewhere, maybe in a pinned comment underneath this video. I don't know where to post it, or maybe, yeah, I'll find a way of posting this, see what people think. Um, what's missing? Okay, so here's another one. A lot of the times when I visit the iPad Musician Group, the Audiobus forum, any other forum, any gear slots especially, I often get this term thrown at me, or someone is throwing it at someone else, basically calling what they're doing playing with toys, or calling a piece of gear a toy. And it's funny because when you say toy, a lot of people will say, yeah, pocket operators are toys, or maybe an iPhone could be a toy, or maybe a little harmonicon, a cheap harmonium, har- harmonica, a cheap little harmonica could be a toy. Uh, People throw this around, and for cheap synthesizers, or not cheap but inexpensive synthesizers, and many of the time it's funny. I shouldn't be annoyed, but I get annoyed over that because I mean, for me, the intention of you using something is what makes it a toy or not. Because I've seen people go out and buy like a $30,000 Kawasaki bike. Okay, this is a powerful bike, and you can easily use it to race with. But they're using it as a toy, a Sunday drive. It is a toy. It's a big, broomy toy. Broomy? Wait, broom is the thing you sweep it. I need to find some more English words for my vocabulary because I'm messing up a lot. I think you know what I mean. A big, expensive motorcycle made for sports can be a toy. Then again, it can be a tool, a professional tool. I want this discussion in a panel. What do you see as a toy? What is a toy for you? Toys versus tools. For me, it's intention, but I would love to hear more people talk about that. It's somewhat an infected kind of topic. I still think it's a good topic to discuss on, and I think we'll get a lot of comments. Um, Ever realize Koala is basically a Trigger 2.0? Yeah, I do remember that app. I don't know if that's still out. Hey, your English is amazing. Yeah, It's I get by. I get by. I mean, you're not hanging me for how badly I speak it, so I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. Roomy. Show me some of the tonic sounds out of a PO. They won't call it a toy anymore. Yeah, here's the thing. Um, just a little sidestep. So many times that people have said, "Oh, pocket berries, yeah, they're fun, but they're mostly toys." And I say, "Okay, but I'll produce music with them." Yeah, but it's not like you do much. You sample them or something. Sample them. You mean like recording them into a DAW, like you do with any synth? Y- Yeah, and they start, squirming a little bit and like, yeah, yeah, but yeah, I need the highest quality. Oh, you need the highest quality. Is that why you're sampling your old reel-to-reel recorder into your DAW to get some nice noise into your tracks? Is that why you purchased a compressor that is now 30 years of old? It's got a bit of a hiss in it, and you're washing it out with isotope. Is that why? Like people start squirming because they realize that it's all in the intention, and when you get down to it, a bit of noise is kind of nice in your recordings. And it's even funnier when people who are concerned with the highest recording quality are listening to a piece of music and I say it's made with a pocket braid. Oh, by the way, pocket operators only give out 8-bit ULAW, old format. I think it's 22 kilohertz or something like that. And their jaws drop and they're like, what do you mean? Yeah, you didn't notice that or you didn't think about that? Oh, you were just listening to the nice music. I think it's an interesting discussion to have. I really want that discussion. What do you think? Or do you think we would have a war on our hands? Or am I inviting myself to be um, jag vet inte vad arkebuserad heter på engelska. Executed? Executed? People want to execute me for asking those things. If you just sit at home sound fapping with fapping. Okay, this is why YouTube wanted to remove your comment. Purists are the ruin of everything. Ricky said it on a video once. Ricky, do you mean Ricky Tynes? Um, I watch him sometimes. No one notices your fun stereo tricks when they're dancing. No, no, they don't. I mean, a lot of the clubs back in the days, they used to run stuff in mono because. Uh, and then again, I found out that it was mostly myth. At least here in Stockholm, they did run stuff in stereo. I can tell you though that when we did rave parties in the forest, we did run everything in in mono. I think it's a good conversation if we convert some people. Some people don't even have the ability to hear in stereo. Yeah, I've actually been weirded out by some weird stuff with people and sounds, trying to analyze tracks sometimes. Intention, like Dean says, intention with caps. Yes, intention. Okay, I'm putting a green one on this one because that's definitely something that would be interesting. You know, this is starting to look more and more like topics for a podcast. And I've always wanted to run a podcast. We tried me, Accurate Beats, Bow Beats, we tried, but then we didn't have time to do it. It, because we're running channels at the same time, but a podcast going on would be very interesting actually. Um, ever realize? Oh yeah, you did say that. Okay, so I'm scrolling down. You're talking about people who are experts on what equipment you should have in your studio, but never recorded anything worth hearing. Or maybe they did record something and they didn't publish it. We don't know. We don't know. I think let's not be too quick to judge them, because some of them actually, once in a while, we actually get people who knows a little bit about the area, but I do agree that a lot of the time it kind of feels like these people just want to put you down. Sometimes that isn't really true. Um, One time I talked to a guy he was saying some stuff about my music, and to me it just sounded like he just hated everything I did. After talking to him, after daring actually to talk to him a bit more, because why why would I want to talk to him? He has nothing but bad things to say about my music. I started talking to him, and I realized that the guy isn't like a crazy audiophile. Um, I saw his home stereo. This was back in my hometown, and his home stereo was really expensive. He had a special position in the seat in the sofa, so he basically put like a folded towel there so that you would know exactly where to sit. So you would get the full stereo spectrum, the full frequency spectrum. And he played some music for me. And he said, shift yourself just a little bit to the left. And I did. And something happened with the sound. And I'm like, oh my God, this guy knows what he's talking about. So for him, it was important that everything that came out of the speakers were perfect, frequency wise, the way that the stereo is being portrayed. He listened mostly to classical music, and so he didn't really like EDM because everything is squashed. It's been processed beyond belief. There's no dynamic range. If you're checking at what's popular, but if you check stuff that maybe I make, or Dean electronic sounds, you'll find dynamic stuff in there. Everything won't be completely squashed. I think so, at least. Dean, don't you like preserving some of your dynamics? I know that there's more people in chat doing that too. So sometimes, it's not that they hate us; it's that they're focusing on different things. But I've been yelled at, barked off of gear slots in the past, uh, by people who didn't, yeah, who have a strong opinion about things. I'm not cheating on gear slots. I'm just saying that it's usually a place where I've been almost manhandled in text form over stuff. People get very excited when they burn for stuff. Um, all right. So, something that I want to talk about too in a panel is iOS or app limitations. We've talked about it here on the live stream, but here's the fun part about it. Topic is iOS slash app limitations. When should you give up? When should you give up? I've seen so many people tearing their hair out on the iPad musician group, um, trying to do certain things. And sometimes I just want to say, um, I think you should give up on this and just do this instead, because this would be a better fit for you. And I always hold back from doing it because I feel like it wouldn't be received well, as if I'm being this know-it-all. Uh, don't, yeah, and know-it-all who just wants to shit on a workflow and say that mine is better. I'm always careful of presenting stuff in a way where people are actually open to listening to what I say. So I don't want to be a dick. Yeah, it's also hard to be accepted when you do too much with gear. A lot of iPadders hate me now because I've got expensive hardware gear and do videos on that too. I get that. Some people will not like that you're doing it, and I even get thumbs down on my channel when I do videos. I'm not sure if that's from people who only do iOS and don't want to see me do that. I mean, I got a thumbs down on my dog video too today, so I never really know. But yeah, sure. I've had people tell me, please don't do more hardware videos, and I wouldn't be able to limit myself like that. And unless half of my audience tells me to stop, I won't stop, of course. So I feel bad for the people that feel like they don't want me to do that. Um, but me personally, I would never ask someone not to do anything if they really wanted to do that. And I think expanding your studio with hardware in some way. I mean, if you get a MIDI controller, then you are using hardware in some way, shape, or form. What did you say here? Never give up, Vortex says. No, that's right. Never give up. I don't think you should. That's why the term IDM came about. I call it interesting digital music to stop the arguments. I like that. I like that. Check out Stor channel Knob Twiddlers or Store. Stor or Store. Twiddlers Hangout for excellent, respectful discussions of techniques. Ah, thanks for the tip. Is that what he said the towel was for? Um, Rustic, yes, the towel was for exactly that. When you sat down, when you plopped down your bum on that ass, when you plopped down your bum on that towel, it, it was it was like walking into a different world. I've never really experienced music quite like it before. I've been at an audio room. I don't know if it was my dad or if it was someone else here in Stockholm. We did some kind of a trip, and I went into like an audio room, and I experienced audio in a very weird way. I can't remember exactly when, but I was younger, and that was also like a weird experience with sounds, how sounds move and bounce, and in certain positions in the room, I felt like the sound was trying to get through my eardrum. It was really unpleasant. So interesting. Stur is Speedy J's channel. All right, okay, I'll check it out. Um, I love your hardware videos. Thank you, Kenny. Kenny, thank you, Kenny. Oh, whenever I say Kenny, I'm thinking about Kenny from. Uh, is it South Park? Are you there, Sophia? Is it Kenny from South Park? I started watching South Park a little while ago because I realized they had the entire series on Amazon Prime. I haven't gotten through a lot of it, but yeah, it's a side thing. It's just I've never watched the series before. Okay, I've never watched the series before. This is the first time, and I'm giggling my ass off because I'm really childish. I appreciate all the fart jokes and ass jokes. I mean, mm, I'm so simple. On one side, I like a bit more not sophisticated, but a bit more interesting type of humor, like The Office, maybe. And on the other side, pure up fart jokes. You're gonna get me every time. If you're never happy with your kit, you'll just feed the industry as a consumer versus creator, like everyone else in the first world. First world. Um, Tony Duncan says he loves it all. Karmato said forcing things doesn't yield the best results in my experiences. Well, it depends. I mean, I think we've all forced number two, right? Okay, I'm gonna stop with the fart jokes and shitty jokes. No more. I need some potty training. Interestingly, our dog does not need potty training. It's very good with that. I don't ever get into the negative stuff he's talking about in my travels. I'm glad I don't visit these places. Sounds very negative. What places? I don't know what these places are. Never give up. Oh, Sawmill. Hello, Sawmill. Never give up. Find an alternative way of doing stuff. Yes, you are correct. Who killed Kenny? Yes, South Park. Okay, thank you. Thank you guys. Still no honey video. Rustic. y- I'm starting to feel you're making me feel really bad. You really want that honey video, don't you? I'm not quite sure what I'm gonna do with it now. I mean, there are things you can do with honey, but I don't think it's gonna be interesting. I don't even know how to make that fun. How do I make that fun? South Park Mormon song. Don't spoil it for me. I haven't watched much, but yeah, I'm gonna look into that too. haQ's PO videos are top notch. Still most thorough ones on YouTube. Thank you so much. I worked so hard on them, and and despite what some people thought that I was actually paid for those videos, I wasn't. I got to keep the two pocket operators I did for the longer ones, and some of them I still have on loan. So I've been able to. I know at least that the Metal Series ones are mine, absolutely mine. I can't remember exactly which one of the other six I have left that I borrowed or which I get to keep or which I have to return. They haven't asked for them, so I'm not gonna call them and ask. Okay, I did work for those videos. I did a shit ton of work. And to be fair, the Pocket Operator videos are some of the most viewed videos on this on my channel. Uh, Mobile Music Pro Vortex. The honey video is kind of like an in joke. I think that's the term in English, an in joke, and joke among the audience and me because I used to do these voting polls where people got to vote what topic we would talk about the next time I did a live stream. You might want to try those out for your channel if you aren't already. I don't know, but maybe you are. Maybe you are doing those. So whenever I did those polls, I always put at the end the option of choosing or voting for things you can do with honey. So now you know the in joke, and that's what Rustic is so sad about. I think it was Rustic that I'm not doing the honey video. You sold the Digitact? Really? You sold the Digitact? I hardly even see people sell their Digitact. Usually, I just see these buy ads where people say, "I want to buy your Digitact." I was trying to find a Digitact last year and I couldn't. And I've been trying for 2 or almost 3 years, and I can't nab them because as soon as they go up, 5 minutes later, someone called in and said, "I'm grabbing it." So yeah, how come you sold it, by the way? Tell us. It's called an inside joke. Thank you. Ack sold the Digitact, and my heart is breaking. I know Dean loves his Digitact. I know that. Um, Rustic, are you enjoying your deluge more? Oh, you have a deluge too. Oh, I haven't had time to try out the deluge. Wait till you get to the city walk episodes. You mean walk like the food when you walk the food? Is that it? Is that what you're talking about? Okay, I can't wait. I can't wait. They ought to let you keep those and more. Karmatos, yes, of course. And every time a company calls me now or gets in contact with me, I tell them if you want me to do something, I do it on my terms, and whatever you send me, I'm not sending it back. Do you understand? It doesn't leave this place. It's mine. So yeah, don't worry about that. I'm not doing any deals where I'm borrowing anything. I'm not saying that teenage engineering has been done bad by me. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying from now on, I always do the deals like that, so we know in the open exactly what's on the table. And I'm pretty sure if I say to them, I'm keeping these, my contact will say, yeah, sure. So it's okay. It's okay. Just if anyone is getting involved with this whole game on YouTube and stuff, always make sure that that's already talked about from the beginning when a company sends you something. And if you need it, have them send it in paper so you can sign something and always check it. Let's see here. Walk, yes. Okay, so it is the walk you do. I've been thinking about the model samples. Yeah, me too. It's the funny thing. I was actually gonna get one sent to me from Electron. It's just that these guys are busy and they're a bit forgetful. So they keep forgetting. I think I asked them like 5 or 6 times, and they're like, "Oh shit, yeah, we're gonna send it," and they forget. And it's not only me they're doing this to. It's happened to a lot of people. You kind of have to really lean on them. So even if you talk to them, even if you meet them, even if there's good spirits and everything, you have a good conversation with them, a good meeting, and they love you, they, they keep forgetting. It's not that they hate you, it's not that they're ignoring you, they just keep forgetting. And I just didn't have the energy to keep hounding them, you know. So that's why I don't have the model samples. But that's one of the units I wanted to try, like model samples, Deluge. I wanted to try. Oh God, what the new Hydrosynth ASM Hydrosynth? Ugh, ugh. I want to try it so badly. I want to try it so badly. I like it. It seems very yummy, very yummy. Oh, sorry. To get back to the point, getting out of your comfort. Oh, we've already talked about that. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. When it comes to topics, I think this will be hard to get developers actually doing this, but I want a discussion panel with developers, app developers, talking about app pricing, development time, and what it means actually for them, how they view it now that Apple's M1 introduction and allowing for iOS app to be run off M1, what that will actually do to them. Because even though I can't mention name because I've been asked not to mention names because this is still an affected thing, you know, from consumer point to developer point, it's hard. This thing is hard to talk about because some people just won't they won't see actually what goes into to app development, and a lot of people want stuff to be very cheap, um, not cheap but inexpensive, and sometimes that just doesn't work out with how much development is being put into something um, compared to how much you sell. I think it's such an interesting topic. I want to hear some developers just talk in between amongst each other what that actually means. But I don't know if I'm actually going to get anyone to do that. I think that would be a very interesting thing, though. Whenever I don't know, because they're putting their ass on the line. They might end up getting hate from the community, and I can't. I mean, that that always happens, right? There's always people who don't like stuff and people who do like stuff. I know. I know. Am I being too sensitive? No, not in this case. Because if you're a developer, you could end up being disliked to the point where people just boycott your apps because of something you said. And I wouldn't be want to be the forum for that, you know? Yeah, I do. I am a bit worried. Uh, Almost sounds as if I don't trust the community, but that's the thing. We have all seen some of the infected discussions going on about this. You know, app pricing and stuff, and what people think that things are worth. And whenever a new app comes out, like a version 2, and the old one is still there, and everyone's going mad about the fact that it's not the new stuff isn't being put into the old one, and you know how it is. I don't want it to turn into a shit show. A developer convo would be nice. I know Serum's developer invested 3 years in it before first version released. Yeah, you see that. And I know that Fruit Loops or FL Studio was developed for many, 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 many years before it even became this big, huge thing it is today. Same with, I mean, think about it. Like Steinberg, how long had they been doing it? I remember Cubase on like Cubase One. You know, back when it was only MIDI, and it only ran on computers that were diatone, not diatone, diet. It had two colors, you know, bright or dark, basically. Um, I mean, yeah, I remember people. I think it was like running off old Mac computers or something, running Cubase off old Mac computers, something like that. I remember seeing that. It was pretty insane. Apparently, Koala sells quite nice. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure it does. And if you think about it, Mike Tyson's Loopy did sell a lot too. There's been other apps like that, that are quite popular. Groovebox kind of popular too. Core Gadget. Um, I don't think I'll ever get some of these companies to get on like that, but if we could get some third-party developers, I would love to hear, for instance, I think maybe Kai would be up for it. I don't know. Brambos maybe would be up for it. I could check with Marek and see. Marek is the guy making Koala. I don't know if Chris would be interested. I'm sure that. I mean, I would love to ask Marcos, who made Sampler, but since the guy works for Apple, I'm not gonna ask him because I don't think that it would be a good look for him to talk about stuff like this openly. I don't think so. He didn't say so, but I don't think so. I mean, you guess yourself. He's working for Apple, right? Um, so I wouldn't want him to risk getting in bad standing with or losing his job over something silly he said online. Today's cancel culture is just way too toxic, right? Um, it might get a bit too technical for app users. Original synth. Yeah, yeah, sure. I get what you mean, but if we're just talking prices, if we're talking pricing structures, why things cost the way they do, how long it takes to do something, how long some people put into making something, if they're alone, if they have employees, um, if they're running a company, if they're paying wages compared to having your own business is very different business structures and the amount of money you need to bring in, why some developers need to rely on subscriptions, why some developers won't do subscriptions and only do in-app purchases, why some developers can develop the same app over years and years and years, give out all the updates for free, because there are different reasons behind all of this. Uh, a lot of people say that often. Oh, this developer gives out free updates every time and has been doing it for 7 years. Yeah, but these people, when they say that, they don't realize that this person is not mainly an app developer. That developer has one app and putting out updates maybe 2 times a year at the most, and is actually working as an engineer somewhere else and is able to provide for himself, his family, maybe a dog, a car, a house. All of these things is being taken care of with his main job, and so he does app development in his free time, in his spare time, and that's why he's doing this. He's just caring. He just cares about the app he's making. Whereas in other developers, the only thing they have is the app development. This is what pays for their living. This is what pays for their bills, for their food, all of that. That is an interesting thing to hear, and bringing up all these aspects. So I don't think it's going to get too technical. I mean, we're not going to talk code here. We can just talk stuff that people will understand and bring these things out, because I think it's an interesting discussion, right? That's the thing. No update means nothing. It's still as usable as ever for me. Who cares if they don't update? It works now. Get your subscription versus buying outright. Yeah, original sin. Yeah, I'm not looking for this highly tech stuff where they're talking actual code. No, stuff that we all think about and that users are concerned with, and the frustration the developer must feel when someone says, "Oh, your app should be free," things like that. I think it's an interesting thing, but I do understand why some developers don't want to put a face to what they're saying because they're afraid of the backlash and that it might actually end up hurting their sales. And that is a fair point. It is a fair point. Uh, I blame cancel culture, but what is that exactly? It's intolerance. Cancel culture is complete intolerance and jumping the gun, knee-jerk reactions, basically, before you have all the facts. Many times it's like that. I've seen people get canceled over things they never did, which is just awful, and that sticks with them for the rest of their life, unfortunately, because it's the internet. Nothing disappear. I've used Looperverse in that way with Audiobus. AUM used to useful, but since I started using more PC, I've used AUM less. Oh, the previous one was from Rustic. I use AUM for my audio in apps into Audiobus into Loopy. I do edits. Rustic. I have tried setting up Audiobus on my new iPad Pro. I'm running iOS 14.8 or what it is. I can't get that to work anymore. I can't get Audiobus to output to Loopy anymore, and I don't know what's going on. I've been trying like mad, and it just won't show up for me. I don't know what's going on. Uh, Are you having any issues at all with that? Lots of he. Could you ask some she too? Oh, I'm sorry. Of course. Um, and to be honest, I don't know anyone using the pronoun she that does app development. As far as I know, I'm not. I don't think so anyway. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I might. I'm gonna have to think about that and look into it. Because of course, anyone is welcome into the discussion, and I'm basically just talking. My talking is because of my upbringing. I'm not blaming my mom and my dad. Society itself, and sometimes I forget myself when I talk. But I try to be as inclusive as possible, and I hope you know that. I don't ever want anyone to feel like they can't join in because it's a hot dog fest. Maybe I shouldn't say hot dog now that I have a little doggy over here. Yeah, absolutely. I would love to see that, by the way. I would love to see that. And there is one thing I haven't been thinking about too much yet because, quite frankly, I haven't had any time. The dog has been taking up all of our time. I'm not being hyperbolic. I haven't slept for 3 days straight. So if I seem a bit off, it's because I'm extremely tired. And so is my partner. And so is the dog. We haven't been able to sleep because there's still a lot of issues she's dealing with. And she dreams a lot. And I think it is PTSD. And she also has abandonment issues. She gets really worried whenever one of us leaves the room, and so we have to train her slowly because soon my partner, she's gonna have to go to school and stuff again. She even took days off just to stay home to be here with the dog the first 5 days, and she had to take another day today because stuff wasn't going too well. So we haven't been sleeping at all for 3 days straight, and I feel a bit. Everything looks a bit square to me, or sometimes triangular. Got a bit of tunnel vision. I haven't had any slurred speech today, but that's gonna come later on. I hope I get to sleep this evening. I hope my partner gets to sleep this evening. I used the original Audiobus. Oh yeah. Do you mean Audiobus 1 or do you mean the later version like Audiobus 2? Actually, AUM is going into Audiobus with Loopy in output. Oh, okay. ASMR stream. Dan Ramirez, it's not an ASMR stream, it's just me being tired and a bit mellowed out because of, yeah, what's been going on with my dog. If any app developers want to make some simple tools like Endless Smile or Sausage Fattener and need an artist, feel free to reach out. Happy to share my portfolio. That's a great way of actually advertising yourself, Ryan. I have 3 dogs. I feel you. Try Kong Toys. We got a new Kong toy for her today. She's already ripped it to shreds, but she's never loved any toy like that one. It's kind of pink. I can't have her bring it now because if we do that, she's gonna get afraid. She's gonna get scared that we're gonna take the toy from her. We're not doing that. But it has like two eyes like this and a little body, and it's purple, and it has two squeakies inside of it, and one big one with a low tone and one like a higher tone. And she went mad on that thing. She absolutely loved it. It's already destroyed, but I think she's going to be able to chew it up for at least another 2 or 3 days, and then we'll have to figure out something else because three of the other toys we got her are already chewed to shit up. She goes, she's just mad with that shit. She's worse than I was when I was younger. Ask my mom if she's still here in stream. There are so many similarities with this dog and me because of my ADHD and having a hard time focusing, and when there's many people in the room, abandonment issues and stuff. And I bit my mom a lot, out of frustration and also out of love. The dog does the same thing, so I instantly recognized what that was and how she's acting and everything. So yeah, I hope we're gonna be uh, good good parents for it. I'm not sure telling about the treat toys. Uh, no, tallying? Tallying? Is this a word I'm not understanding because I'm Swedish? Those tools make money. Oh yeah, shitload of money. Yep. Because I mean, if they were honest when they sell these toys and write out what they actually should say, your dog is gonna destroy this in 5 minutes or in an hour. It's gonna last for a day. No one would buy it. But yeah, that's why you find a lot of people buying these toys and a lot of bad reviews. It broke in an hour. My dog already tore it to shreds. It's in two pieces. I just gave it to her. I've seen a lot of that. So I was expecting it, but at the same time, she needed something to chew on because she has that always. She needs to chew on everything. We we have a hard time just trying to keep her off the furniture, right? Her dog's name, it's a Klingon name. No, it's not a Klingon name. It's an Irish name. Her name is Shiog, and I put up a video on my main channel where you can actually see some footage of her and stuff. So I talk about the adoption and everything. Oh crap! I said her name. Were you trolling me? Is she listening? Oh, she's sleeping. She's sleeping through my talking. Oh, sweetheart. When I'm done with the stream, I'm gonna sit down in the couch and I'm just gonna cuddle with her, while also at the same time trying to work on some of my music. It's not been easy, and I haven't been able to use speakers in quite some time. Irish and Klingon, pretty much this. Just so any Irish people here watching this know, I love Irish names. I think they're awesome. They are country toys. Oh, Joe Y is here. Hello, Joe. Dogs are the best. I have two 15-year-old Labrador sisters. Oh, oh. Sample it. Of course I will sample it. +1 for endless smiles. Mellow is good. Like a new baby, I'm sure it will settle. 2. Rustic just telling me 2 here. Oh, yeah, Audibus 2. Thank you for that. Siobhan is here? Is Siobhan here? Siobhan is here. Stephen Frey is here too. 69 is here too. Hello and welcome everyone to Jakob Live. I've been talking about a dog for 15 minutes. Sorry for that little sidetrack there, but it's still very fresh. Now, I've, if we get back to this thing, we've been talking about discussion panels on Zoom, and we've been talking about interview topics, getting a a dry throat. Uh, Now, some stuff I would like to see in a live shop. Hello, Andreas. I hope you're feeling good today. Something I would love to talk about in or do in a live stream is I would love to have several like slots of people just syncing gear and apps, all kinds of gear and apps, MIDI interfaces, sound interfaces with MIDI on them, MIDI syncing, Ableton Live, Ableton Link syncing, syncing DAWs with iPads, syncing several iPads. I get questions about this all the time, and even though I link all of my previous videos, it just people just want to know, can you sync two iPads? And I try to explain, it's not you syncing iPads, it's you syncing apps. And you just have to use Ableton Link or MIDI. If it's MIDI, you need an interface, or you do it or Wi-Fi, which can be a little bit dodgy depending on your hotspot, right? I've set up hotspot here, and I've got a pretty expensive router, but still, I can't get that to work. Wi-Fi MIDI just doesn't work that well for me. I haven't really looked into Ask, even though I've been told to by a follower for many, many times now, and I'm sure he's getting sick of me not doing it, but I can't help it. Is Ramirez here, by the way? Wait, Dan Ramirez is here, but what is his name again? Oh, I forgot his name now. It wasn't Ramirez. Why did I say Ramirez? Is it close to Ramirez? Maybe? No, no, I don't think it is. Um, Song of the Sea is awesome. Haven't seen the others. You're good, Andreas? What are you doing? What are you up to today? We're trying to hammer out all the ideas here for this thing that we're planning that is probably not gonna happen in October, chat. Okay? We need more time. I want people on this. And I think we're doing great here actually. I can keep writing this up, into an actual thing now with actual slots, calculate some times, put some people, some ideas of people in there, contact people, and see if I have something better to present you with. This is a weird live streaming channel, I know. You're scanning screen prints in sections. Why? Why are you scanning screen prints in sections? Jacob is a wolf walker. Wolf walker? That's a good one. That's a good one. Wolf walker. There are some amazing Irish animated films. Secret of Kells, Song of the Sea, Wolf Walkers. Tap into Celtic myths. Check them out. That sounds interesting. We will. As soon as the dog is settled in, we'll start watching movies again. I haven't watched a video on the TV or on my monitor, my big monitor, for a long time. I haven't played any games. It's not a long time, but it's been 5 days, for as long as we've had a dog. We just don't want to startle her with any weird shit yet. Um, yeah, we'll see how it goes. I mean, it's hardly even been a week, and we're pretty. All of us are pretty sore. Small scanner, big prints. Small scanner, big prints. It sounds interesting. I don't know what you're up to, but it sounds interesting. Artificial intelligence impact on making music could make for an interesting topic. Oh yeah, that's one thing. Because personally, I haven't really been interested in that because I like making my music myself instead of having someone else do it for me. And that's literally what it is. If I let another person or if I let artificial intelligence, even though those might be two different things, they're still uninteresting because I want to be the one making the music. But then again, I don't know. Maybe there are ways of using artificial intelligence to enhance what you're doing or build tools to quickly do things that you want to do that might normally take a long time. That is an interesting thing, actually. Let's see here. Artificial intelligence in music making? question mark. I'll have to think about that idea a little bit more and write something up for it. I have been contacted by a company doing some artificial intelligence thing online. You scared the shit out of me, Shiog. Did she, did she dream? You'll have to turn down your volumes right now because she scared the shit out of me. Hey, baby. Hey, baby. It's just me. Oh, don't worry. It's just me talking. Come here. Come here. Come here. Oh, sweetheart. I'm sorry, baby. Did I scare you? Did you dream? Well, I think this is the downside of having a dog when you're streaming. You can't see her. I know you can't see her, but she's down here. She's right there. The little dog, you can see her tail. Oh, sweetheart. Was she sleeping like deeply? A bit worried? Uh, yeah. Maybe she's annoyed at me talking. I don't know. It could be. Could you stop talking, please? You've been talking for ages now. Sorry, guys. Let's see here. I hope I didn't scare all of you. You get to play and create Irish music. The dog. Butt side puppets. Mutant Crawl Chronicles. I'll be happy to run the game. That sounds interesting. I've seen some pictures that you posted, Ryan, over at Discord. I do have a Discord. Let's see here. How long have we been streaming for? We've been streaming for a little bit over an hour. Maybe I should try to keep this short today because of the dog, and see how it goes next week. I know that it's a very short thing today, but I don't want to stress her out more than I already have if I'm somehow scaring her, the poor thing. We don't actually know how she had it before she came to us. All we know is that they found her on the street. She had just had puppies. So we don't know if she had the puppies in the street or if she had them in some kind of, captivity and then were let loose, because they bred her to get dogs for the races. But she's clearly been racing. I can see that. We can see that on the body structure. She's trained, and when she dreams, she's always like running and biting at something. They put these baskets on the mouth of these greyhounds because they want to bite each other when they're running and when they're competing because they want to get there first. So they have to put those on. It kind of looks like that, when she's dreaming. And when she's dreaming, she's really stressed and she's wondering where she is. And yeah, I don't want to stress her out. I hope that's okay with everyone. I'm sorry, but I think we made some progress here on my notes. And yeah, I'm gonna round this up. I'm gonna round this up. So thank you so much for watching, everyone. Sorry for the short stream, and I'll see you next week. And hopefully it will go a little bit better. Maybe I'll do the stream in that room again. I want to be in here because if the dog woke up, then I would still be here. So maybe that was a mistake. I've learned something from this. Have a good day, and as usual, I wish you a very productive week. Now go finger all of your stuff and have a lot of fun doing it. And I'm ending the stream. Thank you for coming. Kisses and hugs, everyone.